Hello, hello, hello to the internet. I don't even know if any of y'all are out there. This was a whole last minute thing. But yeah, we live. We live on YouTube for the very first time. Shout out to the folks at StreamYard, using StreamYard to do this broadcast. Um, yeah, it's been an interesting couple of days. So it's December 3rd. Oh, and it's my mama's birthday. I got to give her a call right after we get off of this. Yes, December 3rd, it's my mama's birthday. It's the third day of Vlogmas, and I am having a great time right now. I am at my office in the studio, and it's just been a whirlwind because in addition to trying to do this Vlogmas thing, I still got clients that I'm trying to serve, and it feels really good just to be back in this creative mode and be trying to do all of these things. Hopefully, somebody will actually get on the stream so I'm not sitting here talking to myself. Let me pull up the YouTube real quick just to make sure that we are actually live and see if there's anybody in here. Nope, that's all good. I can have a party all by myself. It's all good. Um, and so the reason that I'm going live today is one, I didn't have time to prepare a video. Two, because I really wanted to make sure that I kept up with the whole Vlogmas thing. And three, I needed to pop the live streaming cherry. Now, that's not to say that I haven't done live streams before. I've done plenty, especially this year with the whole COVID situation. But doing my own under my name, under my own brand, that is something that I hadn't done yet. And it's like, you got all this gear, you got the setup, and thank you. Thank you very much. What is the name right? I do not know how to pronounce your name, bro. I would say it, but I don't want to butcher it. But thank you for that. You are not alone. Uh, excuse my terrible singing, but yeah, just really needed to dive in feet first with this. So I am hoping in the coming days, in the new year, actually, to a lot of things that I really want to do. Other than coming back to YouTube, being more consistent, I want to do a weekly live stream. I want to relaunch my podcast. We're going to be rebranding it under another name. If you didn't know, earlier this year, back in I want to say the end of January of 2011, I launched a podcast. It was called um, uh, can't even remember the name of the podcast right now. It's been so long since I've done an episode. 1,000 Miles. It was called 1,000 Miles, The Journey of Entrepreneurship. And what we were trying to do was talk to business owners about their struggles, about the real side of entrepreneurship, the stuff that really goes on, that really makes a difference, the lessons they've learned, all those types of things. Because a lot of times on YouTube, LinkedIn, other places, you see the pretty side of entrepreneurship. You see the people who have made it, who have done big things, the people who are, living the dream. And, that's not all of us. That's not always realistic, right? And I wanted to shed light on that. And those conversations were super valuable to me. They helped me start some relationships. They were just fun to do. And I really liked that. Like whether it was in person or whether it was like this over StreamYard, Zoom, whatever have you. I really enjoyed doing that. But between the the whole COVID thing, losing some of my main revenue that I planned on having for the year, and just having to figure things out, kids being at home. I have a son and a daughter, if you didn't know. Just between all those things, it got to a point where it was really heavy, and I had a really tough time maintaining all of that. So I had to take a step back. I had to be real with myself and say, you can't do it all. Which is something I knew at the beginning, but we get this hustle culture, grind mode, and I don't want to demonize that at all because I believe that hustle and hard work is important. Um, but you got to be real with yourself. You got to have self-awareness, and you got to know what you can and can't do and what you are and aren't willing to do. And it just came to a point where, for my own good, I had to step back and say, I can't right now. And so the podcast went on hold. I decreased the amount of content that I was posting on LinkedIn. If you don't follow me on LinkedIn, I advise you to follow me on LinkedIn. I post a lot of content on there about content creation and, those kind of strategies, especially if you're a business owner looking to start incorporating video into your marketing and branding efforts, which everybody really should these days. But I understand the reasons why people don't. But if you were so inclined, you might want to follow me on LinkedIn. You might pick up some nuggets there. And I'm also trying to bring more of that content to YouTube. You might have noticed this year that I dropped a few different videos about LinkedIn and things like that. There's definitely going to be some more LinkedIn content, but I want to expand my advice tutorials or whatever to cover more areas. Because while I do heavily believe in LinkedIn and I preach the gospel of LinkedIn to whoever will listen, I know that LinkedIn is not the end all be all. What's up, Paul Feinberg? I see you. And I just want to help more people in more places, because a lot of the things that I say are applicable to more than just that one platform. Even though I love that platform, the organic reach is crazy. You should be over there. Thank you, Paul. I love the blue and green too. Yes, the blue and green is dope. And these colors change on at a whim. Uh, have you received any work from LinkedIn? Sort of. Um, One reason I think that I have not gotten as much burn through LinkedIn as I would have otherwise is haven't developed the right offer. I've kind of think that I have it dialed in now, what I want to do. And I want to, in the new year, I want to start beta testing some clients with the service that I want to offer through LinkedIn. But the main thing for me is that, and on any platform, whatever platform you're on, if you want to get clients through that platform, you have to have an offer, right? You have to have an ask. After the whole jab, 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 right hook theory. So you got to show up, you got to show out, you got to showcase the expertise, you got to help people. And then when you're ready, you have to have the right offer. I didn't have the right offer. I wasn't in the right place. I didn't know what that I could do for people who weren't in my same physical or general location in the world, because most of my clientele is based in the Orlando area where I work. And I wanted to figure out a solution that I could offer that could work for people anywhere in the country. And actually, what I want to offer people could, as long as there's no language barrier, could really work for people anywhere in the world. And so it took me some time to brainstorm on that, to figure out what it was that I really wanted to do. And now I think I got it to where it's dialed in. I don't have any of the back end stuff ready yet, but I got the idea. I know what I want to offer people. But to come back to your original question, I have gotten some work through LinkedIn. One of my steadiest clients that I work with on a monthly basis, actually kind of like 3 of them have come through LinkedIn at this point. Oh, are you in you in Orlando, bro? That's what's up, dude. That is what's up. See, the power of the internet, bro. See, if the internet wasn't a thing, if this live streaming wasn't a thing, we might never have met. But bro, that's dope. That's what's up. Hit me up and we could chop it up, all that stuff. But yeah, so I totally lost my train of thought with that Orlando sidetrack. But yeah, definitely 2 of my steadiest clients that I have are actually come from LinkedIn or LinkedIn generated relationships. There's a wonderful lady that I started working with last year. Her name is Lorena Acosta. She is a personal branding goddess and has over 1 million followers on LinkedIn. And through working with her, the first thing that we did was she and another dude named Manny. They were putting on an event called LinkedIn Local Orlando. And if you don't know what LinkedIn Local is, it's kind of a movement that LinkedIn encouraged. They didn't officially brand it, but they kind of encouraged it. People doing real life meetups based off of, LinkedIn relationships, and people would come together. They could independently organize, and LinkedIn Local is dope. And there are some people who are now doing LinkedIn Locals online, which is kind of dope. Or even they're not just saying it's LinkedIn local. Some people are doing LinkedIn worldwide or whatever, basically online networking via relationships they form through LinkedIn. And it's pretty dope. I feel like I'm saying pretty dope a lot. Sorry for the repetition. But so anyway, met Lorena, started working with her and Manny to put on the LinkedIn Local Orlando. I came in with my team. We filmed the whole event. We produced content based on the event. And from that, from producing that content, doing that event, I got one of my steadiest clients that I have right now. So been working with him since it's been about a year now. And then also through working on Lorena's podcast, after the LinkedIn Local event was over, me and her stayed in touch, became friends, and I started helping her out with her content. She wanted to start a podcast. She wanted to start creating a lot of video content for LinkedIn, because before that she was doing a lot of picture posts, text posts, and she still does a lot of that. But now video has heavily become part of her marketing and branding efforts on LinkedIn, and I've been a part of that. And through Lorena introduced me doing her podcast to a wonderful gentleman by the name of Simon T. Bailey. He's an internationally known speaker, trainer, corporate guy. He comes into organization and does he does keynote speeches and workshops and trainings and things like that. And he's an awesome guy. I've been working with him since about February of this year. And those are 3 relationships that started via LinkedIn. And those are relationships that have been helping me feed my family during this pandemic. So there you go. So right there, the LinkedIn is putting food in my family's mouth. I could say those relationships were started there, and because of them, it's helped me stay afloat this year. But I do have an offer that I'm trying to develop that will help me work with people all across the country, all across the globe, if they're down for it. And that's supposed to be coming soon. We'll see how good I am on the follow through. But if I know there's only a few of y'all in here, but if you got any questions or anything else, let me know. Paul, you need to come through the office, man. Like, I know you got some days off coming soon with the holidays and everything. Kitty's gonna be on vacation, so I'm guessing they ain't gonna need you in the school building so hard. But Paul's been a long time cheerleader of mine. He's in the Orlando area. He's a pretty talented videographer himself. Talented enough that I think he could probably be doing it full time if he wanted to. But everybody has it's not an easy life. So everybody has their wants and needs or whatever they have to do. I mean, I'm pretty sure Paul was getting some paychecks when I wasn't. So congratulations to Paul. Awesome. 5 days to burn before mid-January. You have to come spend the day at the office. We can just hang out. Maybe we can do a video. We've been talking about this for like over a year. My wife is encouraging. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to hear. My wife is encouraging me to do it. She is on your dude. That is awesome. Having a wife in your corner, that is everything. But yeah, me and you, we should definitely talk. You should definitely come by the studio. Do some sort of collaboration. We could figure it out. I don't know. But I am losing my train of thought. Anyway, dang, 14 minutes passed already. See, this live streaming stuff, this is fun. Oh yeah, what I wanted to talk about, the power of live streaming. That was another reason why I wanted to hop on here today. And maybe we could do a video where we talk about, your experience doing real estate and all of that. Because real estate is something that I don't do. Or maybe we could start working together and I can help you get more real estate clients. That'd be done. That'd be dope. There's that word again. Don't do dope, kids. Um, but yeah, power of live streaming. It was on my brain today because this morning I actually did a live stream with an organization out of Malaysia. Uh, and the way that they connected with me was through LinkedIn, through content that I was posting on LinkedIn. And it's not the first time that that's happened. How did I? So Philip Edge as how did I get into video and live streaming? So I got into video really. I mean, this is a long-winded tale, and I really try to cut it down when people ask me that question. So the short story of it is, I started making music in high school. Music led me to going to college for audio production. Um, I went to a regular school, then I went to Full Sail. If you don't know what Full Sail is, it's a media school in Orlando. Out of Full Sail, I eventually wound up working at a TV station, doing audio. TV station led me to the live events industry, corporate events, which is now pretty much dead, and which is why I was broke for a while earlier this year. Um, and the corporate events industry is where I started doing camera work. Eventually, I decided, because in corporate event, camera work is boring, like so boring. But eventually, that encouraged me to buy my own equipment, which I thought I'm gonna just do some little YouTube videos or something, and maybe I'm gonna shoot a music video for somebody. Um, but once I picked up a camera that was my own camera and could control what it was that I was shooting, my whole world changed. I became obsessed. I started attending YouTube University on the daily, learning everything that I could about lighting, composition, storytelling, whatever I could soak up. I just had to be learning, and basically everything that I know about filmmaking, I learned on YouTube. Yes, another Full Sail attendee. That's what's up. What year did you graduate, bro? And then I don't really do audio production. Not production like making beats or anything. I want to. Um, there's a fairly new NPC by Akai that is calling my name, especially with some of these, Cyber Week specials and payment plans that some of these companies are offering. Like, there's an NPC that's calling my name, but I got an NPC in the other room, so I don't really need to be buying another one. But um, so I want to be doing audio production more. I want to get back into recording and mixing, but truthfully, right now I don't have the time, bro. Like, every now and then I'll do a gig for film as an audio guy. Like, I'm going to Savannah next week, actually, where I'm going to be second shooting, recording audio, and doing all of that for another guy's company who I met. So my audio skills serve me well. I've been in some situations, had to shoot some videos where the audio would have killed somebody else. But because I know what I'm doing when it comes to Adobe Audition and Pro Tools and all that, I was able to save the audio on those videos. I take great pride in the audio quality that I produce for my clients. Ooh, computer animation. That's dope. Yeah, we definitely need to talk, dude. I could definitely use some. Do you know After Effects? I know that's not computer animation like you do, but After Effects would probably be easy for you. Yep, YouTube you. That's what yeah, AV matters. Let's not go there. I don't want to talk about I don't want to talk about AV matters. LMG is cool though. LMG ain't called me in quite a while though. Um, they kind of call me when they're at the bottom of their list, but it's whatever. I never really tried too hard to get in the good graces of the powers that be at that company, and plus that, well, let's not go there. Their booking department just has a rotating cast of characters, so as soon as one person gets to know you, they're gone, and now people have to relearn who you are. Uh, Yeah, dude, corporate events, unless you're like filming the behind the scenes and interviews of corporate events, like that type of stuff, I'd be down for. But doing the videos they show in the final sessions and all the recap videos and all that, getting attendee interviews, I'd be down for that stuff. But actually being in the general sessions and just pointing a camera at whoever's walking back and forth on the stage, dude, that is so mind-numbingly boring. It paid all right, and it was money I needed at the time, but oh my god, that drains my soul. So, for beginners, what is the minimum purchase YouTubers should look to purchase? There is no minimum. And I was talking about this in my live stream that I was on for the Malaysian persuasion this morning. Um, when you're first starting out, if you don't have nothing else, you ain't got no budget, you probably got a cell phone. And if you got any sort of decent cell phone that's been made in the last 5 years, you can do just fine producing YouTube content. All right. You do not need to go out and get, the only thing that I would say would probably be a minimum requirement if you're shooting on your phone is some sort of phone tripod or other stabilizer. Even a selfie stick can help with stability if you're going to be moving around. And maybe a $20 lav mic from off Amazon. So for less than $50, set yourself up with some sort of tripod or stabilizer for your phone. Get you a lav mic that you can plug into your phone and go to work, bro. Shoot outside, shoot next to a window so you get some good sunlight and make the content that you need to make. Because the thing is, every YouTuber that you look at, unless they're like a camera YouTuber and so they walk in the door with tons of camera experience ready to go, you don't need to look no certain way on YouTube. You will learn all that stuff over time. So don't sweat the equipment. Don't sweat thinking that you need to have an Aperture 120D Mark II or whatever it is as a minimum threshold to start producing content. If you have to, use a freaking webcam on your computer, the one that's built into your laptop. Do whatever you got to do to get the content out, to get your message to the world. Like, don't let equipment be a barrier. Equipment's important, but it ain't that important, at least when you're first starting. Working at LMG, I've had some really good experiences working for LMG, and I wasn't a full timer for LMG. I was a freelancer for LMG. So when you're a freelancer, you get thrown into a ton of different situations. But I've had people who I work with at LMG who were super awesome, and I've had a few people at LMG who weren't so awesome. Actually, there was really only one guy who was really a dick. Everybody else was pretty cool. Did I always get the shows or positions I wanted? No, but that's life. I suck it up. I get the checks that I can get, and I keep moving. Yeah, good old Mike, owner of AV Matters. Yeah, he's a good guy, but they tend to be on the cheap side of things, and I think I'm too expensive for AV Matters now. That's okay though. Yeah, camera. I don't like switching cameras for corporate gigs. I pretty much, what I did for corporate gigs, I was a video engineer or I was a projectionist. I usually did not cut cameras. I was doing more of the screen control, which means controlling the main sources that are up on the different screens. I did a lot of ultra wide screen shows and multi-source shows where you'd have, 2, 3, 5, 6 screens in the room, plus confidence monitors for the people on stage, and I'm controlling all of that stuff. So that's cool, and also left me plenty of time to surf the internet. Yep. Tell them, Paul, audio is very important. Yeah, school them, Paul. School them. Got to start somewhere. Yeah, if you want to talk about not going into debt for YouTube or a film, talk to Paul. Paul is like the patron saint. Paul and Maddie Hapoya are like the patron saints of economical YouTubing. Paul has done a few different videos talking about how he buys cameras, how he makes sure that he can actually afford all the equipment that he gets. I am not so smart. I'll just leave it at that. Paul is a lot smarter than me when it comes to investing in gear and cameras and things. I just go, ooh, shiny. Yeah, there's always a lot of bad people. I mean, everywhere you go. As a fellow bio guy, how does it affect your hair lighting, edge lighting? I mean, it really depends. Oh, what's going on? Well, that's my homie, Unrealistic. We went to high school together. That's one of my best friends in the world. Sorry, we don't talk as much as we should, and I think that's mostly my fault. I'm kind of the out of sight, out of mind guy. I mean, you can see what's going on right here, bro. Like, I don't care. A lot of people would be like, a lot of people would be like, oh, you don't put hair lights on bald guys because you don't want to make their head shine. For me personally, my own setup, I don't care. Like, I want the rim light. I want the rim light more than I don't want my head to be reflective, and it's far enough back that like I'm like whatever. So, but that's me. And a lot of people don't want to, like, I wouldn't have a hair light on a bald guy that's directly overhead. That'd be overkill. But like, I got this light way back in the room, and even though I got some shine, I don't think it's overbearing. I think it just helps me pop out from the dark background. So that's what it is. Yes, you were compared to Matty Hapoya. Y'all are like the kings of fiscal responsibility in filmmaking. Well, for me, I was already when the bottom dropped out of COVID. I was kind of, and now it's just like, this is just like a Q&A session, which is kind of cool. It means I don't really have to think that hard. So for Sanders Media Production Group, I'm not like, I'm kind of burnt on the live events industry. Not that I wasn't making money, not that I wasn't doing okay. Like I tell you, the past few years I've either made six figures or I've made really close to it. And that's cool. And I thought that doing that would make me happy or make me feel like I had made it. My whole goal growing up was like, I got to figure out a way that I can make six figures so I could provide for my family, because my father and my mother were okay, we're pretty well off. Not rich by any means, but we're two income household, well over $100,000 a year. When I was growing up, or not super over $100,000 a year, but definitely over that hump. And to me, I was always like, if my parents gave me that sort of upbringing, that's the kind of upbringing that I want to, that's the kind of comfortable life that I want to be able to provide for my family. So like 100 grand a year was my benchmark. I think when my mom retired, she was making about 150, 160 a year. She's a lawyer, for the government. So I was like, if I can't at least make 100 grand a year, if I do that, I know I can provide for my family. But AV life is rough, bro. It was to the point where I don't really work for companies in Orlando anymore. When it comes to AV, because most of them don't want to pay my rates, and my rates are not crazy. But I get a call from a company from out of town and tell them what my rate is, and they're like, okay, and that's it. Some of these companies in Orlando, I tell them my rate, and they're like, well, we can't really do that for this show. Is there some way that you can? No, pay me my money. I'm not even that expensive in the grand scheme of things. I know dudes who, granted, are more experienced than me, who are making $200 and $300 a day more than what I was charging. You know. Oh, we got more people coming in. Anson. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We had to clean up this morning because I was broadcasting live to a Malaysian and Indian audience. I was on a live stream this morning, and I had to clean up at least a little bit. And I decided not to waste the grooming and do my own little live stream this afternoon. Um, Hey, Gerald. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And yo, Gerald, keep doing what you're doing, man. If you have, well, you probably haven't heard of Geraldbergen Photography. He's fairly recently started ramping up his YouTube output, but he's doing some high quality review videos over on his channel, unboxing and reviews and stuff. And so go check him out if you're interested in budgetary video gear. He's doing a great job over there, kind of like the way that Anson, my homie Anson and Co, came in and started smashing the internets this year with all them dang lens reviews. I am in awe, sir. You are building your channel quite quickly, and I hats off to you, both of you. Yeah, give Gerald some love. He's got like 20 or 30 subscribers right now, and we need to definitely at the very least get him over 100. So any of y'all who can show him some love, let's do that. Yeah, you're right, Paul. I think that's the South as a whole, though. And we can go into this discussion ad nauseum in depth. Um, a lot of people don't value video production because they see they see that, well, basically this thing has poisoned a lot of people's mindsets. Back in the day, the late 80s, the early 90s, the whole history of television production up until like the last 10 or 12 years, it's just super expensive. The barrier was super high. If you wanted to work in the field, you had to know somebody, and you kind of had to apprentice your way into things. Now it's a different world where cameras are cheap and plentiful and high quality, and if you can save a couple $1,000, you can have a killer setup and make images that rival the movies. You know, and so that availability has made people devalue what we do. But then there are still people who think that, professional video production has to be ridiculously expensive, and that there's no way that they can afford it for their business or their brand. Opposite viewpoints and all that, but some of the similar objections. Hey, no problem, man. I like to say, real recognize real. So if I see it, I'm gonna shout it out. I had a podcast going earlier this year. I put it on pause because I wanted to retool it, switch directions. Talked about that a little bit earlier in the stream. The podcast was called 1,000 Miles. But it's going to be called something else when I bring it back. Don't want to say what that is yet because I haven't started I have to get together the website. I have to get together the branding. And I mean, in the end of the day, all of that doesn't really matter, but I'm trying to do things a little bit of a higher quality place just because, everything that I do media wise is a representation to me of what I am able to do for my clients. So I have to do it the right way, at least, or I have to do it to my personal standard, which is exactly the opposite advice of what I tell most people. I tell people to jump in feet first, just start doing it, work out the details later as far as creating content. But because I look at what I'm doing as part of my brand, part of my professional brand, as well as my personal brand, I kind of have to hold myself to a slightly different standard. Alex, a lot of real estate agents are starting to pay me to edit, and they want me to film stuff on their cell phones, but their audio and lighting is terrible. Yeah, man. Yeah. I wouldn't take those jobs, truthfully, me personally. Um, if somebody's like, I want to film a bunch of stuff with my cell phone, and you edit it and it's supposed to be, but they're expecting like a Scorsese film, I'm not going to take those jobs, because that they're not going to value it. They're just not. I'm personally not going to take those jobs. Get your money, man. I'm not telling you not to take those jobs. I personally couldn't do it. But that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And StreamYard's comments are not caught up with YouTube's comments, so I am behind. How do you stay busy? I missed that. Yeah. So Paul asked, how do I stay busy? Because that's his biggest concern. Um, man, it's a work in progress, bro. Um, right now I am super busy. I recently had to I am in the process of onboarding help into my company. Um, I've got a girl who's going to be helping out kind of as an assistant and going to be teaching her how to edit in Adobe Premiere. I got a friend of mine who, one of my best friends in Orlando, he started editing for me. I got another friend in Texas who wants to start editing for me, and I have an old school editor who's been doing it for like 30 or 40 years who I've got editing some stuff for me, but he's expensive. He's really expensive, and I can't keep affording his rates because I ain't making no money. Um, but he's good, which is why I'm paying him, because he gets stuff done fast and he's good, which is why he's the price he is, and it's the price he should be. But I can't afford him. I can't afford him. Tony, I'm sorry. I can't afford you, bro. Um, but yeah, it's been a long journey to get to the point where I'm as busy as I'm at. And the thing you got to realize, if you're going into business for yourself, it's going to take time to build up that client base. And I don't even think I have I don't have a giant client base right now. I've got enough money. I've got enough money coming in to support my family, maybe a little bit extra these last couple of months. Because but a lot of it's relationships. If you want business, especially when you're starting out, you got to start out by building relationships. Right now, because like I was talking about earlier with LinkedIn, two or three of my top clients right now have all come through building relationships through LinkedIn and in the real world. A recent client who I think is going to turn out to be one of my best clients just came on board. That's through a networking organization that I've been a part of for about a year and a half now. And that's like, and that's one of the biggest deals that's dropped in my lap. That was like kind of brought to me and handed to me because of the relationships that I built. Another person in my BNI, that's Business Network International, brought me another, decided they wanted to work with me recently. And that was, like I said, a year plus in the making of that relationship. I have a shoot next week for a lawyer who I've been talking to on and off for the majority of this year. I think we first met maybe last fall. Like, I found her on LinkedIn, messaged her, started talking to her. She was interested in doing some videos, but then COVID hit. But then over the last few months, I this sounds bad, but I promise you I did nothing wrong. I just started really paying attention to her social media, and whenever I saw a social media post, I'd comment, I'd make relevant conversation, and eventually she came back around. And was like, hey, I still want to do those videos. And actually now we made a bigger deal than we originally talked for. I'm going to be doing more videos than we had our discussions about months ago. So, and so it's a lot of relationships, but also, part of like me doing Vlogmas, being right here on the live stream right now, is me really trying to practice what I preach. Which I tell all my clients, yo, you need to be doing an ongoing stream of content. You need to be putting stuff out there constantly. You need to let people know who you are, what you're about. And so it's like, if I'm not doing it, how can I expect them to want to do it? Like, I got to show that I know what I'm talking about and that it works. But it's like I'm saying, like, I am the living proof that it works because this stuff works for me. I was talking to a company in Malaysia this morning. A year ago, they didn't know who I was. A few months ago, I was on a panel with another company in the UK because they saw my LinkedIn content and liked it. A year ago, they didn't know who I was. I did a live stream masterclass, like on video content creation, like a week ago for a company out of Texas because of LinkedIn. Like, so so the proof is in the pudding, man. Like, these opportunities wouldn't have come around if I hadn't been putting myself out there through video, through social media, all these things. Um, and even with YouTube, Andy Finney just recently sent me a monitor to review. One of the first companies to just hit me up and send me the thing with, not trying to do the shady thing of getting me to order it from their Amazon and then they pay me back. Nah, they were just like, hey bro, we got this dope thing, do you want to review it? And I said yes, and it showed up. So all that awesome stuff. Let me see, get some of these comments up here. In the video you had earlier, you mentioned your video quality popping in a Zoom call. How do you handle the compression? I got really fast internet. That's all I can say, bro. Like, I'm sure your internet's faster than mine, but what is it? We at the office we got like 700 down and 40 up. Which I wish the up was better, but we got Bright House, and that's all that they can offer me. Ain't no files over here, or Google Fiber networks. I wish they would come in here and kill all the competition. But I got the fastest internet I could possibly get at the office. Hey, thank you, Paul. That is a big compliment to me because I look up to Scott McKenna a lot. I'm trying to get like him, like is what he's doing with Scaling Creative. If you don't know who Scott McKenna is and you're into video production companies or anything like that, or having your own business, Scott McKenna, he's a great guy to follow on YouTube. I have been following him for I think 3 years now. Right when he launched his wedding, when he went full time into his wedding brand, which is called 4LC Studios. I started following him on YouTube, and I've just learned so much from that guy. I've been blessed enough to actually be able to connect with him and have a few conversations where he's given me some great business advice. I haven't been able to put all of it into effect yet, but it stays in the back of my brain. And he's a really smart guy. He's a really smart businessman, and he's been killing it. He's up in Pennsylvania. How do you like that Rode Pod mic? I shoot my review stuff in the noisy environment and looking for a good Rode Pod mic is pretty dope. It's definitely no SM7B, but you can easily tweak the sound on this, like in post processing, to get more like the SM7B, and that's kind of what I aim for. Because like what you're hearing right now, this is the raw sound of it. There's no compression on it. There's no anything else on it. I got it running into an interface and into the computer. Before, when I was in my last studio, I was using the Rodecaster Pro to feed this into the Zoom calls and live streams and stuff. And so the Rodecaster Pro will add a little bit of flavor to this, make it sound a little bit better. But right now you're hearing the raw quality, and it's still pretty damn good. But you take that into post, you throw a quick EQ on it, man, this thing sounds good. I had to break out the iPad to rock your video and the stream. Dope review, man. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Oh, you talking about Gerald? Huh? Sorry about that. Yeah, Gerald's review is dope. The wife has access to the social media. She's watching you, bro. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Let me catch up. Oh yeah. It's I mean, what that basically is, it's a lot of Amazon sellers who are trying to get people to buy their products, so they hit up smaller YouTubers like us and be like, hey, if you buy my product, I'll pay you back, and then you need to leave me a review. And that's really against the Amazon terms of service, and if Amazon found out about it, they could get kicked off of Amazon. But that's their problem, not mine. Hey, Amazon is what it is. Yeah. I don't remember who from Andy Cine emailed me, but it was cool. Like I love the monitor. Like like early review. I love the monitor. They can quote me. I'll do a review on it. It's yeah, it's pretty good. Yep. Amazon sellers. It is what it is. Everybody trying to eat. Hey, Osric 70. That's what's up, man. I appreciate that. I can't put your comment on the screen right now because StreamYard hasn't caught up, but I really appreciate that you rock with me for this long. Osric 70 said he's one of my first 500 subscribers. Now he's sitting at 3,000. And truthfully, if I had been able to keep things up like I should have, I should be way past 3,000 subscribers by now. Um, if one of my really good YouTube friends, and it kind of even feels weird for me to say that I have YouTube friends, but I have YouTube friends. This is a social media network. If you don't know, one of my great social media friends, Diana Gladney, she's an amazing businesswoman, business coach, videographer, YouTuber, content strategist. She just recently, within the last few months, I think crossed 9,000 subscribers, and we kind of started getting serious on YouTube at the same time. But unlike me, who let life sidetrack me, she just been pounding it, killing it. She just put out so many videos, been so consistent, and it shows. She's at 9,000 subscribers. I'm still down here at 3,000. I ain't mad at her because she put in way more work on her YouTube channel than I have. And now she's getting recognized for it. I'm seeing her getting tapped to do workshops by Ecamm Live and working with TubeBuddy and doing all these things. And I am so happy for her because she has been doing her thing, and she really exemplifies the saying that hard work pays off. I'm just now discovering what a great community this is with photographers video. Yeah, man. Yeah, Gerald, if you spend any amount of time here, you will make friends. Like Anson, he's really cool. And like I said, he just started really blowing up in the last year. He just been this year he's been super consistent, dropping lens review after lens review, and now he's starting to get into the camera stuff. There's a lot of people who are really talented on here, and the thing is, I tell everybody there's room for everyone on YouTube. On any platform, there's room for everyone, right? A lot of people hesitate to get started with a YouTube channel. They hesitate to get started with an Instagram or with LinkedIn or whatever, or a TikTok, because they say, "Oh, it's oversaturated. There's already so many people there." There's always room for you. There's an audience for everyone. You just got to put the work in and develop that audience. Everybody's a work in progress, man. Ain't nobody done. This is a never-ending game. You know what I'm saying? There is no, winner circle. It's just everybody trying to make progress. Yeah. You ain't lying, bro. Yeah, definitely better than the music community. So much jealousy and envy and crab in a barrel mentality. Dude, and what's really crazy about YouTube is the way that bigger YouTubers will reach back and help smaller YouTubers. Like when Peter McKinnon uh invited what's his name, Cody Warner, to be in a video on his channel, and that helped Cody Warner blow up. Things like that. I think Peter was already well over 1 million subscribers, and Cody was at maybe like 30,000. But Peter liked his videos and was like, "Hey, I want to do a video." And Cody took the bit between his teeth, ran up to Canada, and they made some magic happen. Let's see what you saying. As someone who sticks his head in photo video to someone, yep, exactly. With an editor Who handles the audio levels and music selection? Okay, so the more creative edits, I have not handed over to editors yet. But with what I do content for businesses, and a lot of that stuff is very like straight ahead educational talking head stuff where or you know lectures or keynote presentations where it's not a bunch of scrolling through a ton of video, needing to select music, doing a bunch of creative edits. So that's straightforward stuff. That's the stuff that I've been handing over to my editors. So like the editor Tony, who is really too expensive for me, but he's super fast, so I'm paying him for now. He's editing one of my clients' podcasts because it just got to the point where it was taking me so long to edit, and it was taking up too much of my time that I need to go out and find clients, that I need to be making phone calls, that I need to be strategizing to do activities to help the business move forward. And so that was the first thing I had to get off my plate. And not having to edit those podcasts, oh my god, feels so good. um and then my other homeboy Victor, he's been editing a lot of content from my client Simon. He's been editing content from my new client Blaine, who is doing educational content for a website that he's going to be launching in the new year. And so all that is talking head stuff where there's no creativity. It's just making sure they look good and they sound good and that they sound like they did everything in one take. And so that's stuff that I can easily hand off, that I can easily teach my style of doing it. And you know, Victor, I love Victor because anytime Victor wants to learn how to do something, he just dives in head first. He went out on his own, and without me having to ask, he went out on his own and got courses on Adobe Premiere and studied up on it. He went out and, like, even though I was letting him use my Adobe subscription, he went out and got his own because he was like, yo, sometimes your wife is on there and it won't let me in, so I'm just getting my own. So, you know, like, so all those things. So Victor is a blessing, and Tony is just super fast and super great at what he does. Yeah, editing has killed me. Me too. Hours and hours of content that I never put out because of editing. Dude, bro, that's the exact reason why I haven't been on YouTube as much this year, is because even though COVID-19 was a thing, I was sitting at home for months. Trying to put out totally different content for different platforms was a struggle. So LinkedIn, I knew was a place where I might generate some business from, because YouTube, I never planned on getting business from. So I put most of my time into YouTube. Put most of my time this year into LinkedIn because I knew that there was a possibility I could generate business from LinkedIn. Um, YouTube has always been a hobby. And so it was like, well, if I got to choose between putting in time on something that could possibly get me to eat and something that's not really helping me eat, I'm going to do the thing that could probably make me eat. Although I make a little bit of money off of YouTube, but it's nothing to write home about. I make like $100-200 a month off of YouTube between the AdSense and the Amazon affiliate links and all that. Like, so it might pay a bill or two, but nothing fantastic. Like I said, I only got 3,000 subs and I ain't selling no merch or anything. I've heard it makes a big difference what time of the day you post a video for the algorithm. Do you find that to be true? So historically, I find that my content does the best when I post it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and post in the morning. Like usually I would schedule videos to go live at like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Some of the tools that I'm using, like TubeBuddy or vidIQ, are telling me now that I should post my content at 9 a.m., which I may start trying out. But I think for the audience that I have, which according to the analytics in general is males from 25 to 35 or 40, if I post in the morning, that's when I get the best results, Monday through Wednesday, because that's when it's early in the week. People are checking their phones or they're just getting to work. Maybe they're still a little distracted and they'll check my content. If I posted Thursday, Friday, and it might get some views. If I post anything on the weekend, it's dead. But that also depends on what kind of genre you're in. Um, it's depending on what kind of genre you're in, what kind of content you're creating, who your audience is. So, like, if I'm somebody younger and my content is more for kids and stuff, or teenagers or young adults, then I might post stuff on the weekend because that's when a lot of kids have the most free time, is the weekend, and where they'll be on YouTube. I mean, they're not out partying right now because of COVID, I hope. Um, but it really depends on what you're doing and what kind of content you're producing, who your audience is. And through posting stuff over time, like when you're first starting, like you're in the early stages, Gerald. So what I would do is experiment. I would post your stuff at different times and just see what works the best. And that's going to take a lot of videos to kind of to figure that out. It's all an experiment. Because I've seen big YouTubers who throw out videos on Sundays and Saturdays, or YouTubers bigger than me who throw out videos on Sundays and Saturdays and get tons of views. Whereas if I did that, I get nothing. Uh, why not post videos on multiple platforms? Why is LinkedIn exclusive to LinkedIn? A lot of my content that's been on LinkedIn has been exclusive to LinkedIn because it was all about LinkedIn. Some of that content has crossed over. A couple of videos that I've done, which when I shot them, I specifically shot them with multi-platform posting in mind. So I did them differently. But there are ways that I sometimes shoot content for LinkedIn that's really only going to work on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a different audience. Like for instance, I have a video on this channel that's about hashtags on LinkedIn. To date, since I posted it, it's gotten less than 400 views on YouTube. The day that I posted it on LinkedIn, I got like 1,500 views. And then I even reposted it a few weeks ago just as an experiment to see if the video would still work if I posted it again. I got like 900 views. So like some of the content that I make um is for LinkedIn is not going to work here, and wouldn't work on other platforms because it's too specific. Which is a little bit earlier in the stream, I said that I wanted to start making more business content, but make it in such a way that the advice that I'm giving can apply to multiple platforms or not be so niche to one platform. But I mean, I do post content from that platform on other platforms. Like I've used videos I've done for LinkedIn. I've used them on Facebook. I posted them to Instagram, especially when I was doing the podcast and stuff. But LinkedIn is its own animal. It's a different platform from any other social media. So when I put stuff on LinkedIn that's specifically intended for LinkedIn, most of the time it's not going to do well anywhere else. But I'm still going to start posting LinkedIn content about LinkedIn on YouTube because it lives longer. If I post a video on LinkedIn after 2 days, nobody's finding it. Maybe a straggler will find something a couple weeks later, but it's hard to search for. And most people aren't searching for content. They're just searching for whatever comes up in the feed. And most of the time, what comes up in your feed is stuff that's been posted within the last 24 hours. Thank you, Anson. Yeah, so if you didn't know, I'm trying to bring Vlogmas to LinkedIn and see how that works. So far, I have had 3 people. I've had 3 or 4 people tell me that they're going to try to do Vlogmas on LinkedIn. So that's pretty cool. What camera am I using? As Paul Feinberg says, the venerable GH5. And Anson, you're a traitor for getting rid of your GH5. Sorry, it's just what it is. Yeah, GH5 is my main workhorse. I don't see that changing anytime soon, even with all the amazing cameras that are out there right now. If money was not an issue, would I switch to something like the A7S3? I'm grown enough, I'm mature enough that I can admit yes. If money was not an object, I would probably switch to the A7S3 or or the Canon C70. The Canon C70 is really the first camera that's made me seriously think about a plan in the future to move away from micro four thirds. Um, the A7S3 is super capable, but I don't like the price tag. I don't like the price tag of Sony Glass, and I'm just like, something in me rebels. Especially when I can go on eBay and get another GH5 for like $900 to $1,000. I wish I had a wife who said that I could get an A7S3. Paul, you lucky duck. Every time a piece of equipment comes to the house, my wife is giving me the side eye. You did not have to. You could have stayed with the GH5 and been fine. Okay? That Black Magic Pocket it's all right. It's all right. It's raw. Who needs raw? Pah, I spit on your raw. Love the Panasonic system. Still rocking my GH5S along with some of my Sony gear. Cool. Throw that Sigma FP out. That ain't going nowhere. Like, you playing yourself. My wife gave up on. I wish my wife would give up. Well, my wife don't know all the equipment I have. We'll just leave it at that. My wife said if I get the A7S3 that I can sleep with it. That's the kind of thing my wife would say. I'm shooting primarily Black Magic. Yeah. G85s. G85 is a good camera. I still have a G85. Actually, this camera whoops, let me not knock that over. This back here is the G85. Got a Sigma 18 to 35 on it right now. That's what I've been using to shoot some of the vlog stuff. That's what I've shot both the vlogs that have come out this week with. But it is 5 o'clock. We done been on here for an hour, which I really only planned to be on here for a half hour. But y'all came in and started talking. We had a good conversation, which I am happy about, especially with this being my first live stream on the YouTubes. So, I mean, yeah, I enjoyed this. This could definitely be a weekly thing. Ooh, I feel bad for you, Unreal. Logitech. I mean, it's a good for a webcam. It's good for a webcam, but I'm a snob. I can't do it. I have one. I can't bring myself to plug that thing in. Right now I'm rocking. Right now I am rocking the GH5 with the teleprompter rig so that I can look straight into the lens as I'm talking, and I'll be like, yeah, dude, so the live stream is awesome. Like I had to fix that problem. It was getting on my nerves. Yeah, 4K live crop is dope. If you don't know what that is, that's a really dope feature on the G85 and the GH5. Looking to invest in something real, but not ready yet. If you want to be economical, well, you trying to be you probably need autofocus. So I would say for you, if you don't care about 4K, or if you're planning to mostly talk to the camera and not vlog, move it around and stuff, I probably recommend you get a Sony A6100, which I know most of you would probably be like, what? Because I'm the Panasonic guy, but Sony A6100 is a really solid choice. I think it has the 4K. It has a great autofocus. You're probably not at the point yet where you need to be worrying about color profiles and stuff, but you can get access to all them dope Sony lenses that are out there, and it's a system that you can grow with. You can replace the body, keep the lenses, and keep on rocking. I'm considering the Lumix S5, first camera in a while. What are your thoughts? I am not in a rush to upgrade, in quotes, to any of the full frame Panasonics. Do they look dope? Do they have insane capabilities? Yes. L mount glass, bro. One piece of L mount glass, I could buy I could probably buy 2 new cameras. I can't do it, dude. Like, I refuse. My soul rebels. It's the same reason why I don't want to be on Sony. Them lenses is just too expensive for the kind of lenses that I like to have. Too expensive. Like right now, I'm rocking a 17 millimeter f.95 lens on my GH5. That thing cost me $300, maybe. If I was to get a lens, equivalent would be like a 35 millimeter f1.2 or something on a Sony. Or, and forget about if that was on an L mount. Like, I don't even want to think about what that would cost. Like, it'd be insanity. The Sony 6100, I think it does have a mic jack, no headphone jack. The ZV1 would be the ZV1 would be an okay choice for you. The reason that I wouldn't recommend for you to personally get the ZV1 is because I think you would outgrow it very fast. I think you would quickly get to the point, like, you're enough of an engineer and a techie and a geek that I think at some point you would want an interchangeable lens system. I know you like to upgrade, you like to improve. A Sony ZV1 is just, it's fixed. It is what it is, and it's never going to get any better. Fujifilm X-T4. I think the X-T4 is a dope camera. Everything that I've seen and heard about that camera is really dope. If I had unlimited funds and just wanted to continue my anti full frame stance, Fujifilm X-T4 is probably the next system that I'd be willing to invest in. The L Mount Alliance. Lions. Sigma has some amazing L glass options right now. I just picked up the 24-70 f2.8. Which part of your soul did you have to sell to get that, sir? Did you have to sign away your child? Did you have to sell your wife's soul? I'm just not willing to pay for L mount glass. It's crazy. Even for the Sigma stuff, it's still super expensive. Yep. I do want interchangeable, just trying to stay reasonable. We were trying to buy Oh, that's what's up. You better come down here. No, the lens selection right now does not suck for Fuji because there's tons of third-party glass available. Granted, most of that glass is manual glass, but hey, you gotta give up. You gotta give a little to get a little. And Viltrox has 3 lenses out right now for Fuji that are supposed to be pretty darn dope. There's that word again. A small part of my soul. I knew it. I always think about that when I know that is like that is literally probably my favorite part of watching Frono's photo. Every video, every photo news fix, I'm waiting for him to go, the L Mount Alliance. But anyway, this has been amazing, guys. I really did not expect to be on here for an hour. I did not expect for all of y'all to show up and actually talk to me. So that is amazing and definitely is encouragement to come back and do this again. But my daughter's in the next room. I have the family car today, so we got to go pick up my son from daycare. I will see you guys later. And hopefully, somewhere down the line, I will make this whole presentation a little bit more fancy. Maybe we'll get an intro going, an outro going, have some music, have some, animation, and be like, I don't know, something. But thank you guys for rocking with me for an hour. This has been day 3 of Vlogmas. Stay in the course. Stay in the course.